Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a cherry challenge with my friends Jessica, Nicole, and Natalie. I have here Bella Boulevard, their Love Grows Here collection. I love this collection. I actually have a set of photographs from all around my house that I have set aside to scrapbook with this collection. I was just waiting for like the right opportunity or the right mood, I guess, maybe, to go ahead and dig in and start playing with it. As you know, Cherry Challenge means we are doing a challenge on a Cherry on Top's message board. I'm still having trouble with the talking, this stuff. So I'm still real rusty from taking all that time off when I was sick. So I'm still kind of like juggling through and getting used to back into the groove of talking. So I'm going to be doing the sketch with a twist. So here is the sketch. And then the twist was to add floral clusters, which I'm all for. You know me, like I can do that. That's no problem. And the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out one of these photographs on the sketch for a 3x4 cut apart card. And I'm not planning on it being my title, but I know exactly what card I want, so it might be my title. We'll see. Part of the reason that I absolutely love this collection is that it's all about home and your house and your family. And that is like primarily what I scrapbook about. So I have these two photos of me and Fitz sitting on the porch. This is a summer activity for Fitz and I. We do this just about every day that it is warm. So I feel like I do this like 90 times in a year. I should scrapbook it at least once, right? So those are the two photos we're going to be using. And then I have a couple other summer stories from around the house that I think I really, really want to scrapbook using this collection. So we'll come back to those pages another day. But today we're going to do this one. I think I might be pulling in, oh no, there's an alphabet here. So maybe I won't need to pull in anything else besides this collection. I have all the papers, I have all the embellishments, I have my sketch. I'm going to go ahead and kind of make some paper choices here, I think, and then we'll get creating. So this is the first scrapbook page that I've made with this Love Grows Here collection from Bella Boulevard. And I went through my colored cardstock and found this green that is pretty much exactly the match we need for the green in the Love Grows Here collection. I just wanted a little frame of pattern paper or solid cardstock to kind of frame in my photo. This sketch does call for this, so I'm following the sketch pretty, at the end of the day, it's pretty close, but that's okay. So a couple of things that I think a sketch is super good for. I think a sketch is really useful if you scrapbook like me and cutting into that new collection for the first time is super daunting, right? So if you like the look of lots of layers, if you like, patterns and mixing and matching and all those kinds of things against like a nice white background, it can be a little daunting to start your project with all these full 12 by 12 sheets. I am also someone, when I start to create with a collection, the first thing I want to do is look at my scraps. I don't know why, but that is where I kind of start my inspiration. Like, what have I already cut into? What do I already have available to me in the scraps department? And so that makes starting a layout really hard with a brand new collection because I don't have any scraps. I haven't started anything yet. So a sketch helpful. Helps me to kind of have a roadmap to start cutting into these large sheets of paper and cutting them down. And then I find like the next layout I do, I'm good to go because I have scraps that I can start to kind of get an idea for layers, get an idea of what I want to do, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead. I know that I want to replace the third photo with that cut apart piece. And I'm just following the sketch and the different patterns I've chosen so that I can go ahead and I don't have to think about measurements too much or this, that, I looked at the sketch and I'm like, okay, turn on tone paper, A side with a more busier pattern, turn on tone paper. Like you can see here, these are all the papers I've chosen. That pink paper that has almost that quilty design, that is my favorite pattern in the entire collection. It is an A-side. It is gorgeous and I love it. So I knew immediately that that pink kind of quilty looking paper was going to be in the mix, right? We're definitely using that. Then I chose this tone on tone yellow and this kind of cloud print. That's really pretty. This plaid, you can kind of see here. I wanted to make sure that I had enough papers with a lot of color in them so that the green border fit in with everything else that's going on and it doesn't look out of place. So I need to make sure that I have some multi-colored patterns that include that green because I also don't want a monochromatic green layout. That green it's pretty, but wow, there's a lot of it in the collection and it's a little bit goes a long way with that specific shade of green. So I am going to go ahead and right now I'm just cutting 2 photo mats that are 3x4. I know that cut apart sheet is 3x4 and so I want to mat my 2 photos. And there is that gorgeous pattern paper. This is my favorite. I don't know what it is about this paper, but I just love it. You can see me there kind of like stopping and just looking at it. It's so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and mat my 2 photographs so that the photographs are the same size as the cut apart card I've cut there. And then when I put them in a row, they're all going to be the same size. I will link what is available of this collection, add a cherry on top. I'll link it in the description box below. So if you haven't seen it yet, or if you haven't checked it out, you can. It's super pretty. And you'll see me do, like I said, I have a couple sets of photographs, a couple of stories from the summer, that I want to tell that work perfectly with this collection. Turns out I live in a pink house. So, a lot of my photographs, the background has like the outside of my house in it. And that is just, it's going to look perfect with this collection. So I have more photos coming or more stories with this collection. I always like to, when I get a new collection, think about like what photos do I have that maybe I haven't scrapbooked yet because I was just kind of waiting for like the perfect collection, right? This is the perfect collection for all of those photographs from around the house, things you may have done. There's a lot of like baking stuff, which really makes me happy. So there's like a die cut that has like a mixing bowl and an apron. There's a refrigerator die cut in the ephemera pack that I'm dying to figure out a way to use. It's so cute. And there's another one that's like flour and sugar bowls. So there is a lot, like this collection runs the gambit of like all the things you do in your house. I grabbed some mint chroma mist from Brutus Monroe. And so first of all, when I splatter this, it's going to look real dark. It's not dark. It dries super light. Secondly, you'll notice I splattered a lot, but at the end of the day, when I cover up all those areas with my embellishments, you see very, very little of the splatter. It's just the perfect amount to add just the tiniest bit of interest to that white background without being overwhelming or, in your face. Very, very light splatter. So I went through all the embellishments and I chose a couple of things that I thought I would use. So I've got some of the chipboard elements. I have some of both of the ephemera pieces. I'm going to move things around and audition them different places. I know I would need to add some floral clusters, and I knew that I wanted that pink house. These are photographs on my porch. My porch is pink, my house is pink. So yeah, worked out really well. I just have one photo is of the beautiful blue sky. These photos were taken in June. So one photograph is just the gorgeous my flowering pots and the blue sky. And then the other is a photo of me with my feet up and my little Fitz, who porch sits with me all summer long. He loves it when I put my feet up, and then he sits on my lap. So I have a photograph of that. And you can see here from the ones I've chose the different kinds of titles and embellishments. The Just Us is from the Word ephemera pack. And then and so is that top floral cluster that's sort of long and horizontal. And then the house and the rest of the little flowers are all from the Icons ephemera pack. And I'm just going to tuck them in and around my title. The title I chose was Just Us. I could have spelled out a title. I thought about doing that, but this one is available and right there, ready to go in the Words ephemera. So easy peasy. Let's just do that, right? Today's project is also a part of a little hop I do, and you can find the links to Jessica, Natalie, and Nicole's videos in the description box. So I am just adding everything. You can see now what I mean when I said like those little splatters are just gonna be like really subtle. They just add a little something extra behind my clusters. I used a little tag up at the top on the top cluster, and so I am going to go ahead and add some of my favorite hemp twine to that tag, and then I'm going to glue down the little tails to make them look adorable. Again, one of my absolute favorite techniques and things to do with tags is to just add that little bit of extra texture to them. I decided that I wanted a third little phrase or little wordy bit down there at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the sticker sheet and grab one of those little sentiment stickers, again in that dark blue that I'm adding my photos with. I think the trick really is when you're using a bright collection that has lots of colors to just make sure you have like an even amount of each color, so that your layout doesn't end up looking too monochromatic, or unless you want it that way, right? Like if you want it that way, but sometimes it's hard to make sure that you have an even distribution of all the different colors that are in your collection, especially when you've chosen pattern papers that have like all the colors in them. So that's what I'm doing as I go ahead and start to embellish. So I'm going to grab, these are the epoxy stickers. They're adorable. They're so cute. They're like these, they're all these little flowers and little enamel dots. I love them. So we're going to do a little bit of sprinkling of them for confetti. I'm going to place them at different parts of my layout, and that just adds to the floral cluster. So challenge complete, Deanna. I will also link the challenge in the description box that I used, so you can grab the sketch and maybe play along. I know Deanna offers a $5 gift certificate to the Cherry on Top shop, and her challenges are always super fun. She always hosts the Sketch with a Twist, and I, generally speaking, adore them. I had a little crease, so I'm just straightening out my mat around my photo, around my page. And here are all of the close-ups. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to check out all of the other girls' videos. And if you enjoyed my video and enjoyed this collection, maybe you want to grab some of it. So you can find those links in the description box. Bye. Oh, hit the like button. Hit the like button, please.